Have you ever read a book or an article and thought this would make an amazing movie? Or watched a film adaptation of your favorite novel and wondered how they brought these characters and worlds to life on screen? Today, we're looking into the fascinating world of adaptation, how stories transform from one medium to another, and what it takes to make that transition successful. Welcome to another episode of the Musings of a Storyteller. I'm Reimagined. Adaptation is both an art and a science. It's about taking a story that works in one medium, whether it's a book, a play, or even a song, and translating it into another while retaining the essence of what made that original so compelling. But as anyone who's tried their hand at adaptation will tell you, it's not as simple as copying and pasting. It requires a deep understanding of both the source material and the medium you're adapting it to. Let's start by talking about the different types of adaptation. At its core, adaptation is about change and transformation, but the way a story is adapted can vary greatly depending on the source material and the target medium. Now, there are three main types of adaptation: the faithful, the loose, and reimagined. A faithful adaptation tries to stick as closely to the original as possible, often aiming to capture the story, characters, and tone with little deviation. Think of something like the Harry Potter films, which for the most part stayed very true to J.K. Rowling's novels. A loose adaptation takes more liberties with the source material, perhaps changing the setting, time period, or even key plot points. An example here could be Clueless, which is a modern retelling of Jane Austen's Emma. A reimagined adaptation goes even further, using the original story as a springboard to create something entirely new. An example might be The Lion King, which draws heavily from Shakespeare's Hamlet, but stands as its own unique story. Now, while it might seem like the goal should always be to create a faithful adaptation, that's not necessarily the case. Different mediums have different strengths and limitations, and part of the adaptation process is figuring out how to play to these strengths. For instance, a book can delve deeply into a character's internal thoughts, something that's much harder to convey on screen. A film, on the other hand, can use visual storytelling to convey emotions in a way that a book cannot. Take, for example, Chimamanda Adichie's novel, Half of a Yellow Sun. When it was adapted into a film, the filmmakers had to condense a sprawling narrative that covered the Nigerian Civil War into a 2-hour runtime. Certain subplots and characters were cut, while others were merged or altered to fit the medium. Yet the film still aimed to capture the emotional core of Adichie's novel, the impact of war on ordinary lives. The challenge was in deciding what to keep and what to change, all while maintaining the integrity of the original story. But it's not just about cutting down content. Sometimes adaptation involves expanding the original story to suit a new medium. Take TV series adaptations of books. Unlike movies, which have limited time to tell a story, TV shows can explore subplots, delve into character backstories, and build worlds with more detail. But with that freedom comes the challenge of pacing. How do you keep viewers engaged over multiple episodes while staying true to the source material? One of the most important aspects of adaptation is understanding the core of the story, what it's really about, and making sure that core is preserved, even if other elements change. This is where many adaptations falter. They might get the plot points right, but if they lose sight of what makes the story resonate with the audiences, the adaptation fails. Think about The Witcher, both the books and the Netflix series. The core of The Witcher is its exploration of morality, choice, and consequence wrapped up in a fantasy world. When the series adapted the books, it had to decide how to convey these themes visually and through dialogue while still engaging viewers with action and intrigue. Not every fan agreed with the choices made, but the creators had to balance fidelity to the source material with the demands of a serialized TV format. Another crucial element of adaptation is casting and performance. When a beloved character from a book or play is brought to life on screen, there are high expectations. Readers or audiences have already formed an image of that character in their minds, and the actor must embody that vision while also bringing their unique interpretation to the role. Casting can make or break an adaptation. It's not just about finding someone who looks like the character. It's about finding an actor who can capture the essence of that character, who can convey the subtleties and complexities that made readers or audiences fall in love with them in the first place. Finally, let's talk about the audience. When adapting a story, it's essential to consider who the adaptation is for. Is it for the fans of the original who know every detail by heart, or is it for a new audience who may be experiencing the story for the first time? The answers to these questions will influence many of the creative decisions made during the adaptation process. Let's look at Game of Thrones. The series had to cater to both hardcore fans of George R.R. Martin's novels and viewers who had never read a page of the books. The showrunners made deliberate choices to appeal to both groups, sometimes condensing or altering plot lines to maintain the show's momentum. The result was a global phenomenon that for most of its run managed to satisfy both camps. But as the show went on and eventually outpaced the source material, these decisions became more controversial. This highlights one of the biggest challenges in adaptations: staying true to the original while making the necessary changes to fit the new medium. Finally, let's discuss what makes an adaptation stand out. Innovation and creativity, number one. A successful adaptation often introduces innovative elements that enhance the original story. For example, the adaptation of The Lion King used groundbreaking visual effects to create a visually stunning experience that complemented the original narrative. Innovation can make an adaptation feel fresh and exciting. 2. Respect for the original. At the same time, respecting the original story's core themes and characters ensures that the adaptation honors the source material. This balance is key to a successful adaptation. In summary, adapting a story from one medium to another is a complex process that requires a deep understanding of both the source material and the target medium. It involves balancing faithfulness with creativity, navigating challenges, and understanding the audience. It's about making strategic choices: what to keep, what to change, and how to translate the essence of the story in a way that resonates with your audience. Whether you're adapting a novel into a film, a comic into a TV series, or even a true story into a documentary, the goal is always to create something that honors the original while standing on its own. What are some of your favorite adaptations? How do you think they handled the transition from one medium to another? Share your thoughts in the comments. So next time you watch a film based on your favorite book or a TV series adapted from a comic, take a moment to appreciate the craft and care that went into bringing that story to life in a new form. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the world of adaptation. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. As always, keep dreaming and celebrating the magic of storytelling. Until next time, Roba signing out.